Five Nights at Freddy's is a game series which has a deeper, well-hidden story about a man, his family, and the people he involved in his life. In this video, I present to you my take on that very story. Don't forget to quickly scroll down, subscribe, turn on notifications, like the video, scroll back up, and please enjoy the combination of what I put my heart, soul, and time into for the past few months. Married, a father of 3 children, Elizabeth, Evan, and Michael, began a business with his good friend Henry Emily. Married, a father of 2, Charlotte and Sammy. Their business name was decided to be Fazbear Entertainment, and together they opened up a small restaurant called Fredbear's Family Diner, a regular diner filled with dining and party rooms. The diner's main purpose was for children's birthday parties, as they knew that's the way to profit. It might as well have been a pizzeria though, as their menu was mostly filled with a variety of pizzas and cakes for all customers to enjoy. But, unlike any other restaurant, this is run by 2 mechanical geniuses, probably the smartest in the world, who together agreed on an idea so genius it would have to convince more kids and adults to have their birthdays and to dine generally at this location. An idea that would drive their revenue through the roof, and unknowingly to them, an idea that would shape the future of both their lives forever. The idea was put into motion almost instantly. Their creative minds wouldn't allow for hesitation. It was time. They were ready for business and destined for success. William and Henry created 2 spring-lock suits that they could wear and serve customers in, but the suits could also pass as animatronics to perform for the customers on a stage. These 2 spring-lock suits would end up becoming the main attraction of the diner, and the 2 suits would don the names Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. Business was booming. The 2 were receiving money from all directions. Parents loved the place. They could just chill back and eat some pizza while their children run around and admired the animatronics. Children flocked to the diner daily to see the Springlock animatronics. If someone wanted a birthday party, this would be where they went. Due to the success of Fredbear's, a sister location opened up called Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, with Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy as the main stars. These 4 became really popular really quickly, so they ended up selling masks and merch to increase their revenue. But business doesn't change a man's mentality. William Afton may have been married, a father of 3 children, and thanks to Fredbear's, a wealthy man. But however his life was, he wasn't a good man. Abusive, destructive, and cruel. The one reason he is where he is today is because he is smart and a strategist. The money did nothing but grow his toxic and dangerous personality. He looked to Spring Bonnie, and then out to his pizzeria he helped to create. And upon scanning the crowds, he put on the Springlock animatronic suit with a stable plan for an unstable man. Tonight, 5 children would have a birthday party they would never forget and never let go. 5 children were having a grand time at a birthday party in the pizzeria until randomly the yellow Spring Bonnie came over to them, and after playing with their minds and crafting their thoughts, the Springlock animatronic successfully lured them into the back room of the pizzeria. Unknowingly to these children, their party would end prematurely, as upon being alone with the 5 children, William pulled something from behind his back. The children were ready for a surprise he told them he had, the surprise they wanted, and the surprise they got. The knife William pulled out from behind his back went through the children's bodies. He went on a murdering spree, murdering all of them in a short amount of time. William knew exactly what he had done. The psycho gained satisfaction from this event, from the torment he had just given. But the cops would arrive soon. Their parents would notice their children missing. He had to do something to cover his tracks. But how? While thinking of options, he stared at Fredbear and the 4 main animatronic suits him and Henry created with endoskeletons to be fully automatic, as manually wearing the suits and serving customers was becoming too much, as they had to cook, take calls, requests, and it was all getting too much for the 2 of them. So that's why they made the endoskeletons in the first place. The animatronics looked like animals, with a brown bear, blue bunny, yellow chicken, and red fox. But to William's luck, the suits were open and empty. William grinned, knowing exactly where he would hide the evidence of this murderous event, which causes Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria to close down. FBI, open up! Police stormed the building after several calls, not knowing their children's whereabouts, and staff having no clue either. Police were scavenging, searching all around the building, in all the rooms of the diner, asking everyone what they knew, trying to piece together anything they could, until they couldn't find the children's bodies anywhere, and they quickly found out no one knew anything. The children, who were just having the best party of their lives, vanished like a thin air from the diner. William became a major suspect, but without any bodies nor proof, they couldn't charge him. This quickly became a missing children's incident. Satisfaction, exhilaration. That's what William felt after the murder spree and getting away with it. His mind ran wild with ideas. What if he made suits specifically to contain people inside of them? Not springlock suits like him and Henry used. The animatronic suits, but with enough space to fit humans into them. They couldn't contain adults because they might be too tall, too big. There would be way too much individuality between adults. But children? Most of them would be the same height, same size. A little bit bigger wouldn't be too much of a problem since they would still be rather small. William already killed 5 children and knew exactly how to lure them out, so he knew where to go next. With the goal of capturing children in mind, he made a new animatronic, Circus Baby. A blue-eyed, red-hair clown animatronic with an inbuilt scooper to grab, pull, and then trap children inside of itself. William adds that
she can dance, she can sing. She's equipped with built-in helium tech for inflating balloons right at her fingertips. She can take song requests. She can even dispense ice cream.
With the perfect creation and a long talk with Henry, William opened up a small restaurant on the side under his personal business name, Afton Robotics, which would sell the same food and drink as Fredbear's, but with the addition of ice cream. And with this, Circus Baby's pizza lot opens. William programmed Circus Baby so she would not kill or trap in front of crowds, nor with adults, but only in a one-on-one situation with a child. And William knew that the animatronic had to contain some sort of artificial consciousness. So how would he get that? William's wife and children would occasionally visit the 2 locations, admiring William and Henry's work. Animatronics were unique, creative, and unheard of in this day of age. Evan liked to watch William work on the animatronics, and would regularly watch William work on the 4 animal suits, which Evan actually got early access to plush copies of. Elizabeth Afton, though, she desperately wanted to see Circus Baby every time she visited. It looked like her, and it was the first girly animatronic that had been ever made, with the others being Fredbear and Sprung Bunny, which were still working at Fredbear's family diner. William always said no to Elizabeth. He knew deep down that Circus Baby would recognize his daughter as a child and would quite possibly kill her. Elizabeth kept asking,
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her? Daddy, you let the other children go see her. Why won't you let me go? Daddy, just once let me go play with her. She's so pretty and shiny. Didn't you make her just for me? Daddy, she can make balloons. Have you seen her make balloons? Oh, Daddy, let me go to her.
no was always the answer. William took no risk. His own daughter dying to his creation was not an option on the table. So he always took Elizabeth away from the animatronic and distanced her from the clutches of Circus Baby. But one night, while William was busy with a party of people coming into the restaurant, Elizabeth snuck away from William and went to finally see Circus Baby. Stubbornness, ignorance, and arrogance. 3 words which would perfectly describe Elizabeth's actions as she headed towards the animatronic. Circus Baby watched this little girl run with excitement and started to dispense ice cream, a luring tactic, something she had never done before.
Daddy isn't watching. Can you tell Daddy that I'm here? I wanted to watch your show too. I don't know why you don't let me come see. You're wonderful. Where did the other children go?
Elizabeth's final words, a question, a moment of realization. Elizabeth died as a direct result of William's actions. She was inside Circus Baby's suit, her screams covered by the children running back into the room with excitement. William came with his party of children and wondered where his own went. He looked around and remembered Elizabeth's words.
Oh, Daddy, let me go to her. Didn't you make her just for me?
He then looked to Circus Baby, who coldly stared back. This was a giant mistake. William couldn't comprehend this. This wasn't meant to happen. She should have listened. No, he should have made it happen. No, she shouldn't have been so stubborn. No, yes, no. William couldn't put together a single coherent thought in his mind. A psycho losing a loved one is not going to go well. He shut the restaurant instantly, and for a whole night he looked into Circus Baby's lit green eyes. If anyone can retell the story in these events the best, it's Circus Baby herself.
I was in a small room with balloons and a few tables. No one sat at the tables, though, but children would run in and out. I would always count the children. I'm not sure why. I was always acutely aware of how many there were in the room with me. I can do something special. Did you know that? I can make ice cream. Although I only did it once. There were 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Something happened when there was 1. A little girl standing by herself. I was no longer myself, and I stopped singing. My stomach opened, and there was ice cream. I couldn't move, at least, not until she stepped closer. There was screaming for a moment, but only for a moment. Then other children rushed in again, but they couldn't hear her over the sounds of their own excitement. I still hear her sometimes. Why did that happen?
Let's go to a place where
Room with balloons and a few tables. No one sat at the table.
and towards his door.
Room with balloons and a few tables. No one sat at the tables.
That are offline or on, especially not alone. There was no chance he would let another child of his be lost to any one of his creations. William knew Michael was old enough that the animatronics wouldn't kill him, although he still warned him away. But William must have raised his children wrong, as Evan becomes stubborn and decides to go to Fredbear's family diner either way, obviously without his father's permission. But unknowingly to Evan, William knew about this. He's the co-owner of the restaurant Evan was sneaking off to. Of course he would know. So knowing that stubbornness, ignorance, and arrogance caused Elizabeth's death, and seeing Evan follow in her footsteps, William crafted a plan that would hopefully stop Evan from visiting the restaurant for good. One midnight, Evan awoke to the sound of someone walking down his bedroom halls. Evan hopped out of bed and ran towards his door, opening it slightly, and he saw a nightmarish version of the animatronics he watched William build. Evan slammed the door shut, and after hearing more footsteps, he reopened the door and the animatronic was gone. But then he heard rattling coming from his bed. William monitored Evan in an underground location he was yet to open to the public or anyone. He made sound illusion discs, which employ a high-pitched frequency just outside of the normal range of a human hearing. This frequency is used to overload the human brain, changing the listener's perception of whatever the emitter wants them to see. He used this to create illusions of animatronics that he knew Evan had seen, to make sure Evan never went back to Fredbear's. William knew Evan would think these were nightmares that he could strangely remember, but William made sure all of it actually happens to Evan when he's awake, so he remembers them more quickly to keep the fear level raised. He would make sure the illusions disappear at 6 a.m. each night, a time which Evan would begin to treasure. During the day, Evan would go to Fredbear's slightly more scared each time. William's plan was working. Michael, Evan's older brother, unknowingly to himself, was actually helping William during all of this, continuously scaring Evan with a foxy mask. William saw this as an okay thing to do and allowed this to happen during the daytime, as it would help Evan be more afraid to go back to Fredbear's. William encouraged Michael to do this, and he would be monitoring what Michael does through the eyes of a plush Fredbear. But Michael didn't do it for the same reasons as William. He did it because he was a bad brother. Michael organized Evan's birthday party to be at Fredbear's, and he told all the kids in town about it. After Evan talks to the kids, he goes inside his house to find William and talk to him about it. But Michael gets him first and scares him again with the foxy mask. Michael knew that he could get Evan inside the diner if he really wanted to, by just being himself, the bad brother. Michael would have to bully Evan inside the diner for his party, so he gave it a try the next day to make sure he could. And by the end of it, he ended up locking Evan inside the